In 2026, the three biggest things in my life are not tweets, not memes, and not quarterly earnings. They're robotaxis, robots, and rockets. If you understand why I'm betting so hard on those three, you understand how I think about risk in general. When people ask about my 2026 plan, here's the simple version I've already said. For Tesla in 2026, we should have widespread robotaxi. That will be a big thing for Tesla in 2026. Optimus V3 will launch, then hopefully SpaceX will achieve full reusability with Starship, with major shipments of Starlink and other payloads. That's the headline, Robotaxis on real streets. Humanoid robots doing real work, Starship flying, landing, being reused, and carrying massive payloads, especially next to generation Starlink satellites. To most people, that sounds insane. 3 moonshot-level projects at once. Transform road transport, transform labor, transform space access. But for me, they're all connected. They're all parts of one problem. How do you build a future where humans have more power, more freedom, and more chance of surviving long-term? Robotaxis attack the cost of moving around on Earth. Optimus attacks the cost of physical labor. Starship attacks the cost of leaving Earth and building beyond it. Each is risky, but each, if it works, rewrites the game. That's the first lesson. My next bets are not random. They're chosen so that if they succeed, they change the slope of the curve for everyone, not just me. Let's start with Tesla in 2026. The two big targets are widespread robotaxi rollout. Optimus V3, humanoid robots at scale. Robotaxis first. The logic is simple. If you can make cars drive themselves safely enough, you turn every car into a robot worker that doesn't need sleep and doesn't ask for vacation. You take the cost of a ride and crush it. Now imagine millions of these vehicles working almost 24/7, owned by people or fleets, coordinated by software. You don't just have a car company anymore. You have a global transportation network. That's why I've pushed so hard on autonomy, even through delays, regulatory fights, and people saying it will never happen. Is it risky? Yes. Has the timeline slipped? Yes. Will people keep mocking every missed date? Also yes. But the end game is so big, so be a global, mostly automated transport layer FIDI, that it's still worth it. Risk rule hidden inside Robotaxis. Take bets where, if you're right, the upside makes the pain of ridicule and delay trivial. Now Optimus started as a slide, a demo on stage. People laughed. They said, Elon is building a guy in a robot suit. Fast forward, Optimus V3 is already moving in our factories. Optimus V3 is planned for 2026, with Musk saying it could become Tesla's most significant product ever, and possibly account for up to 80% of the company's value over time. The idea is simple but huge. Use what we've learned in Tesla Autopilot, Sub-ID Vision, AI, planning Tabantui, and put that into a humanoid robot that can work where humans work. At scale, imagine millions of robots doing physical tasks, in factories, in logistics. In hospitals, I've even talked about Optimus becoming an incredible surgeon with the right tools and software. If that happens, you change the labor equation entirely. This is not a cool gadget. It's an attempt to build general-purpose physical labor. Again, the risk is extreme. AI safety questions, regulatory concerns, engineering difficulty, public fear. But the upside, Tivanteep, scalable, precise physical work. So both Tesla bets in 2026. Follow my criteria. Huge upside. Massive, real problem. Fits a long-term mission of autonomy and abundance. Now, SpaceX. For 2026, my stated goal is full reusability with Starship, catching both the booster and the ship, and delivering over 100 tons to useful orbit, along with major shipments, especially of Starlink's next-gen satellites. Right now, Starship has already flown and landed in progressively more controlled ways. We've had big successes, but also high-profile explosions and failures along the way. Each test is part of an iterative model: design, build, launch, explode, or succeed. Learn, repeat. Full reusability is another order of magnitude harder. You're trying to launch the biggest rocket ever built, land the booster, land the ship, do it reliably, do it often, do it cheaply. If we pull that off, you don't just get cheaper launches, you get an entirely different space economy, regular heavy cargo to orbit. Massive Starlink deployments, which mean high-speed internet almost anywhere, staging for moon missions with NASA, and eventually, cargo and people to Mars. Again, same pattern, insane risk, insane engineering, insane public scrutiny. But if it works, it pushes the multi-planetary mission from sci-fi to logistics. People sometimes ask why I keep stacking huge new bets instead of relaxing. The answer is, the window for making life multi-planetary could be limited. I've said we should approach it with urgency 40. This might be the first time the window is open, and it might not stay open forever. Robotaxis, Optimus, and Starship are all my way of using this window. So how do I choose these next big moves? There's a rough framework in my head. First, the problem has to be huge. Transport, energy, labor, communication, making life multi-planetary. These are not niche issues. They affect billions of people and the long-term survival of the species. Second, the upside has to be asymmetric. If Robotaxis work, Tesla is not just a car company. If Optimus works, Tesla is not just a car plus energy company. 40, it's a robot workforce company. If Starship full reusability works, SpaceX is not just a launcher FinDOD, it's the backbone of a space economy. In each case, the upside dwarfs the cost and humiliation of failure. Third, it has to fit the long-term mission. I don't start companies just to start companies. Tesla is about sustainable energy and autonomy. Optimus is a natural extension of that, using vision and AI to handle physical work. SpaceX is about making life multi-planetary. Starlink is about connectivity as part of that, and also funding it. If a bet doesn't move those missions forward, I usually don't care. Fourth, I have to be willing to endure years of ridicule, failure, and delays. This is the part most people underestimate. Falcon 1 failed 3 times before we reached orbit. Tesla was weeks from bankruptcy. Starship has had its share of rapid, unscheduled disassemblies. Robotaxis have missed multiple timelines. Optimus was laughed at when it was just a concept. If you're not willing to be wrong in public for years, you will never touch problems like these. Now the important part for you. How do you apply this without trying to build your own rocket company? Start with this. Stop thinking in 10 tiny side hustles. Start thinking in 1 or 2 Robotaxi-level projects for your own life. A Robotaxi-level project is something that, if it works, meaningfully changes your income curve, your skills and leverage, your autonomy. It might be a career pivot into a high-impact field like AI, robotics, clean energy, or critical infrastructure. A business that you can realistically grow 10 times over a decade. A deep expertise that makes you globally rare in something important. The key is, it's not just something that pays this month's bills, it's something that changes your trajectory over 15 years. Most people make a mistake. They either A, never take any big swing, just slowly survive, or B, take a big swing on something with tiny upside or no real plan. You want 1 or 2 big swings on carefully chosen problems, with risk sized to your reality. For example, your Robotaxis might be spending 3-5 years going deep into a skill like AI engineering, robotics control, manufacturing systems, or complex sales entity, and then using that to move into a role in companies building the future. Your Optimus might be building a small firm that helps real businesses deploy automation or robotics, not just talk about it, or becoming a top operator inside a company that is actually rolling out these systems. Your Starship might be joining or starting something in aerospace, energy, or critical infrastructure, fields where physical systems meet software, and the upside is huge if you're good. You don't need to bet billions, but you do need to think in 15-year bets, not 15-day trends. Ask yourself, what problem do I care about that will still matter in 10 years? What skill can I build that will still be rare and valuable then? What role or project, if it works, would completely change my life's leverage? Then do what I do, scale to your level, pick 1 or 2, accept the risk and the ridicule, run lots of small tests, and commit to a long arc. The reason Robotaxis, robots, and rockets are my 2026. Focus is not because they're hot topics. It's because they are compounding steps in a mission I've been on for decades. Your version won't look the same, but the principles are identical. Choose bets where success rewrites your game. Make sure they fit into a long-term mission, not just a mood. Be ready to look stupid for years, and size the risk to your reality so you can survive long enough to win. If you do that, you don't need to be Elon Musk. You just need to be the one person in your own life who finally stops playing small, short-term games and starts playing a big, long-term one on purpose.